You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over. Fate is the name. I keep the inn. People say there's someone in Riften that can change your face. Make you look completely different. Do you believe that? Yeah, mm-hmm.
Always looking for strong, capable warriors. You think you've got what it takes? Our headquarters is in Solitude. Stay alert. You never know when those Stormcloak dogs might charge. I'm sick of waiting. When are we going to see some action? Oh, quit your belly aching. Keep an eye out for Stormcloak spies.
There! Traveler! Over here! That's close enough!
Thought I heard
Never should have...
my temple lying in ruins. So much for the constancy of mortals, their crafts and their hearts. If they love me not, how can my love reach them? Restore to me my beacon, that I might guide you toward your destiny. It is time for my splendor to return to Skyrim. But the token of my truth lies buried in the ruins of my once great temple, now tainted by a profane darkness skittering within. The necromancer Malkaran defiles my shrine with vile corruptions, trapping lost souls left in the wake of this war to do his bidding. Worse still, he uses the power stored within my own token to fuel his foul deeds. I have brought you here, mortal, to be my champion. You will enter my temple, retrieve my artifact, and destroy the Defiler. Mortals call it Dawnbreaker, for it was forged in a holy light that breaks upon my foes, burning away corruption and false life. You will enter my shrine, destroy Malkaran, and retrieve this mighty blade. Of course you will. I have commanded it. Go now. The artifact must be reclaimed, and Malkaran destroyed. Malkaran has forced the doors shut, but this is my temple, and it responds to my decree. I will send down a ray of light. Guide this light through my temple, and its doors will open.
I'm still here. What do you need to take? Lead on, then.
Destroy
defeat it. Take Dawnbreaker from its pedestal. Malkoran is vanquished. Skyrim's dead shall remain at rest. This is as it should be. This is because of you. A new day is dawning, and you shall be its herald. Take the mighty Dawnbreaker, and with it purge corruption from the dark corners of the world. Wield it in my name, that my influence may grow. May the light of certitude guide your efforts.
Okay, so I just wanted to offer a few thoughts on the debate yesterday that I think Sneeko hosted, reposted on Orthodox Muslims channel, where
Alright guys, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to be continuing this Lily J campaign. We're going to be responding to the response of Lily J to all of the sort of accusations and questions probed against her and her foundation. I'm joined here with my cousin who's been following along this sort of saga. So, you're going to be hearing me speaking to him throughout, as you guys are probably bored of me just speaking to the camera by myself in all these videos. There's not really anyone that is big out there that's willing in the Muslim community to speak about this, unfortunately. So, or if they would want to speak on it, they want to give their own response later. So inshallah, I'm just going to be joined with my cousin today, and he's going to be giving some of his opinions as well on these sort of statements. So this is a press statement from the Lily J Foundation. So first, what we'll be doing is we're going to read through the response that she gives. Then we're going to be sort of giving our own opinions on it. And once we finish this response, then we're going to be saying, these are the questions that are left unanswered still. She didn't even try to address them. And some of them are the most pressing sort of questions. So for those people that were saying, wait for a response, wait for it to respond, maybe she'll give you answers. A lot of the questions we asked didn't get even an attempted answer to.
It's like a really good sign of innocence when, as soon as accusations are pressed against you, you just delete everything. That's always a good sign of innocence.
Yeah, actually, yeah. For those of you that don't know, she is actively editing stuff that people are asking questions about. Now, we're going to be reading through a statement, like I said, and just giving our opinions. And at the end, we're going to mention things that were never addressed. As a new organization established less than a year ago, our priority has always been to begin delivering humanitarian assistance as quickly as possible. Clearly stated through our website, the Lily J Foundation is not currently a registered charity and operates under a corporate structure. We have been transparent about this from the outset, while focusing on delivering meaningful humanitarian support to communities in need. The structure was chosen to allow us to commence operations immediately, rather than delaying urgently needed assistance while working through the time required for charitable registration and associated regulatory processes. Okay, so this is in response to the idea, obviously, that people are saying, why aren't you registered as a charity? Well, because if you're registered as a charity, then you can be more transparent about the funds and so on. How much money's coming in, how much money's coming out. Now, even if she's functioning like this, what's stopping her from documenting and showing the public exactly how much money's coming in, how much money's been spent on the grounds? Like, I don't see why that can't happen, right? So, yeah, that's my first impression.
I'm just wondering why it is that she thinks it's a good idea to do it now, when at the beginning this should have been something they were considering even before they launched. That's a good question. It's a matter of, has there been pressure that's pushed her towards being a bit more transparent? That's what I think it's coming from. And to be honest, there's nothing really, to answer your question, there's nothing that should stop her from just showing where the funds have been allocated to, what they've been used for. I think if you're a charitable organization, that is one of the most justifiable questions that someone can ask of you.
What I don't want to happen, however, and I fear this is probably what's going to happen, she's going to brush this under the carpet, potentially pocket any money she can pocket on what's happening here, and then sort of just start being more transparent about what's going on.
I'm sure they have, if they are actually managing this with integrity, they would have to be documenting everything. Every bit that goes out, every bit that comes in. Like, it should not be this hard to come out with some credible information about what exactly it's being spent on. That's why to me, it's so damning that there's been no genuine response to it. It's kind of ridiculous.
During the creation of a very limited number of social media marketing materials, members of our marketing team incorporated a small number of AI-generated introductory clips featuring Lily J. Cap. These brief introductory sequences, typically lasting only a few seconds, again cap, were used solely as opening hooks before transitioning to genuine footage of our humanitarian work. They represented only a time. Look at how many times she's emphasizing. Like, let's count it here, right? She's saying a very limited number. Okay, that's one. Small number of AI-generated introductory clips. That's two. These brief. That's three. Introductory sequences, typically lasting only a few seconds. That's four. They represented only a tiny fraction. Five. Of the hundreds of clips shared across the platforms and were never used to depict or fabricate. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. So. Basically, she's emphasized. I feel like I'm speaking to a lawyer here. I'm hearing a lawyer's response. This is all BS if you haven't noticed, because we have so much evidence of stuff outside of the introductory clips that she has. And first and foremost, like, who do you think you are? You think you're too bougie, too significant to go in there into Gaza and into Sudan and into all these regions? I've never seen her step foot in Gaza, bro. I've never seen her step foot in Sudan at all. Like, it's all AI. And they just admitted it. And that's the most damning thing, bro. They literally admitted they used AI. People would have thought, hey, yeah, this Lily J lady, man, she's off in Sudan, she's off here, she's off there, she's in all these places. So if she can fabricate that and then leave it under the carpet until people probe questions, imagine how much more she's hiding.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, most of the people that are defending her, they've never once accused her of only using AI in her intros. They never. That's not what they were saying. They were saying that she uses it to enhance her videos. They didn't just restrict it to her intros. So
exactly.
Even the people defending her have to say, yes, there's been use of AI, but they don't think it's fraudulent. Now, she's kind of dug herself into a hole here, because I think anyone with a pair of functioning eyes can see that there's been AI used and littered all across the videos. I think that's undeniable. And because of that now, she doesn't look too great here, having said that she only uses it sparing amounts of times within her intros, which is not really easy to justify.
And I'll put some examples here, right? So I'll put a link in the description to the videos so that she doesn't copyright my video here. And I'm going to be putting an image on the screen specifically of the AI generated parts. So for example, here what we have is so first we have her favorite place to stay at, Thailand, where apparently she's feeding a bunch of people in Thailand. Where it looks like the rise of the Walking Dead here in the right spot, in the right side. Like, what the heck's going on there? And then finally,
Thailand, her favorite place, Thailand, where she stole the 70 grand. As far as I'm aware, it just looks like she's taken the 70,000 and she's redistributing the wealth, man.
Bro, yes.
Robin Hood, right?
Look, if we're gonna give her benefit of the doubt, I think we should start saying that's the case. She's a little Robin Hood. We have obviously that these people in Sudan saying Eid Mubarak. This isn't like an intro. This is like actually part of the video, and we see so many errors here. So firstly, we have this lady who's holding some deformed baby or something in the photo. We got like some weird-looking tree in the background. This banner that has so many errors. First, it looks like you're combining English and Arabic on the top left, and it's not even Arabic. Like it's like a dot that has two dots on the top. Part of this is Lily J, instead of saying J there, it obviously says IAY. She founded the company, actually, as they admitted, they founded the foundation in 2025, and yet this is 2023. So unless someone has a time machine, like maybe what Trunks had in Dragon Ball Z to go in Battle Cell, fair to say that we have some AI generated footage outside of the intro here. The Lily J Foundation's humanitarian projects are genuine and continue to be delivered through our local partners and field teams across multiple regions. The safety of our local partners, field teams, volunteers, and the vulnerable communities we serve remains our highest priority. Because our teams operate in conflict-affected and high-risk environments, we intentionally do not disclose precise GPS coordinates or identifying landmarks that could compromise their safety or the security of active operations. So to put this into context, this is in response to the whole idea that we're asking her, where is the bakery? She claims there's a bakery that gives out bread daily in Gaza. For about like the past year or so. And when asked where the bakery is, she went dead silent. And this seems to be her response. Now, her response doesn't make sense for many reasons, but you can just list what you think first.
Unless this bakery is in a bunker, I'm pretty sure people would be able to find it regardless of whether she gives the information or not about its whereabouts. So,
especially if she has people wearing vests with her foundation's name on the back and on the front, as well as the fact that you have a whole bakery in Gaza. Like, you're telling me these people that are starving are not going to know the location of a bakery they can get free food from daily?
Free Lily J, bro.
Furthermore, even her excuse of, you know, it's for their safety and whatnot, they're in more risk of them getting scammed of millions of dollars than their you know, lives being at risk because people know their location. Dude, these guys are starving, man. They're starving. And you're telling me people knowing their GPS location or a specific landmark near them is going to, like, affect them significantly? If anything, that's better. So we can actually know where to provide the help. Who needs the most help, right? This is crazy. Now, let's continue on. Transparency has always been a core part of our operations. Every sponsored project includes a personalized video update for their supporter with their name displayed during the recording to verify the project they funded. This allows supporters to witness the direct impact of their contribution and reflects our commitment to accountability. As the organization continues to grow, we'll continue blah, blah, blah. Okay, firstly, I don't buy that. This whole thing of, you know, she's helping so many people, it's being recorded, everyone's getting shown the stuff. Because if that's really the case, and you're no short on footage, why is your channel like just full of AI generated or AI manipulated content? Just upload the raw content. Like, if you really have that many recordings and you're helping that many people, then just upload it raw. Like, why would you not do that to begin with? So I don't buy this that she's saying here at all. So it is possible, however, I've never denied the fact that, okay, she never donated to Gaza. Like, you would have to be like next level stingy if you're taking potentially millions and then you're not like donating at least some of it to the causes that are being donated for it. Okay, so I would never make the claim that, oh yeah, definitively she's not donating any of it.
A few thousand goes missing here, a few thousand goes missing there, you know.
It happens, bro. If it's happening, like what this person from Gaza was telling me, Ustad Muhammad, he was telling me that big organizations, they're working in shifty ways. So let alone someone that's not documenting the money that's coming in, money that's coming out, and has been involved in fraudulent activity, which we'll get later in the video. Moving forward, to provide additional transparency, we are actively publishing raw unedited footage from our humanitarian projects. We will also be conducting scheduled live streams from several of the project locations that have recently been the subject of public speculation when operationally safe and appropriate. These live streams will allow supporters to observe our humanitarian work directly and further strengthen transparency, accountability, and public confidence in our operations. Okay. Now, again, like what I said before, if you had raw footage you could have uploaded, you would have been uploading it to begin with, but that's clearly not what was happening. So again, like, what stops us from saying that only now, because you've been pressed into a corner, you're gonna start doing things legitly? Right? Let's finish it up here. Lily J's involvement. At this point of time, Lily J continues to serve as a global ambassador for the mission. While she's not a director of the corporate entities or shareholder, she's engaged to use her platform to raise awareness, connect supporters with initiatives, and amplify the voices of vulnerable communities. Wow, so this is crazy. Your name, you're the face, and the name is associated with you of this foundation, and you're not the director or the owner. You're not a shareholder. You're none of that. This is sus as hell, man. It's really sus.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think this is her way. This is her exit plan.
Of course.
If people start coming with these accusations, she can say, "Oh, I wasn't the one who managed everything. Oh, this was all their fault." And then they're just gonna point fingers at each other. If it does come out that there is some wrongdoing, they can all just point fingers at each other. Oh, this person is managing it. It's not got nothing to do with me. It's just dirty, man.
That's that, I guess. That pathetic, sorry excuse for a response. Now, here's the stuff that she didn't address. One, she didn't mention the fact that she stole $70,000 with her partner. This was premeditated, by the way, in Thailand. Premeditated in Thailand, where she stole $70,000. I'm going to be playing on the screen for everyone to see. And I'm going to be putting the link in the description for you to find the video as well. But it's not just her, but her partner as well that did this 3 years ago. If someone has the ability, and I don't think people understand this enough. If you have the ability to steal $70,000 and not just steal it like it was sitting there, you premeditated to destroy this guy's life.
Ini benar-benar gila banget sih. Orang ini bisa menghasilkan 330.000 per hari atau sekitar 10 juta per bulannya. Dan kalian pasti udah gak asing ya dengan yang namanya kakek AI. Tapi tunggu dulu, ada yang lebih gila lagi. Karena ada satu akun yang berhasil menghasilkan 118 juta per bulannya. Ya, per bulannya.
That was gonna trust you with this money. You premeditated to steal it and try to dip. Actually, I'm gonna be putting the articles and the link to the video, like I said, in the description, inshallah. So you gotta make a public statement and tell us, why should we trust you with no records of where the money is going, with all this AI footage that's going on, and I'm gonna get to this in the future, you lying about your daughter being your daughter or your brother being your brother, even using this idea of your sick brother to try to ask for money for donations. All this together, like in conjunction with the fact that you stole in the past, only 3 years ago, and not just stealing randomly, premeditated, a massive amount of money. It just shows that there's no good reason to really trust you with the Ummah's money, let alone millions of the Ummah's money.
Really agree. I just have one question. Hey, ChatGPT, where's Lily J's bakery?
So this is the second thing she didn't mention as well. She didn't even try to address. She didn't even try to address how her organization made the AI photo of her receiving a reward, and it's clearly AI generated, as you're going to see on the screen. Furthermore, she didn't address how members of the Lily J Foundation, who were associated with it, wrote the article about her receiving that AI generated reward. Okay, that reward doesn't exist. These people giving the reward probably don't even exist. And obviously, this is like giving the mirage or the facade that there is independent corroboration for this stuff going. So look, if there is genuine work being done on the grounds, why do you need to fabricate independent witnesses for it? It goes back to the AI generated thing. Look, oh yeah, now we're going to give raw footage. Okay, if it was the case, you already had raw footage, why are you using AI generated ones? And if it's the case that you can get independent witnesses, then why are you fabricating independent witnesses? Yep.
Just so everyone's aware, like there's not really vitriol or hatred that we talk about this. It's just that there's so many easy ways out if she is actually acting acting with integrity. There's so many ways out for her. She could do so many things, but she's refusing to for some reason, and it just looks like she's covering herself here. That's the biggest issue I find.
Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, keep the bell on, and we're going to continue to cover this until we get the answers we're looking for, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Global. Ternyata para bule bisa kena efek samping setelah liburan di Indonesia. Yang terakhir kocak banget. Pertama, saat beli ayam goreng di negaranya, kirain abang Korea ini cuman makan ayamnya aja. Tapi ternyata dia malah nambah nasi. Kedua, setelah pulang liburan dari Indonesia, Neng Jerman ini malah jongkok saat nungguin kereta, sementara bule lainnya tetap berdiri seperti biasa. Terakhir, melihat tingkah abang bule ini, istrinya sampai bingung karena dia kayak lagi nyari sesuatu. Dan pas ditanya malah ini jawabannya, anjay.
Cari apa nih? It is in Germany, di Indonesia. Di Jerman guys, cari nasi goreng lewat, gak ada yo.
Ternyata para bule bisa kena efek samping setelah liburan.
Yesterday we watched Nigma.
Kamu
I think play games where the draft
tiba-tiba ngilang dari
didn't
Indonesia.
necessarily favor them. They quite the opposite in my opinion, and they actually played very well. Won even some of these games. I think today is the opposite, so it is scary for Liquid if you ask me.
How to make something happen against this Shadow Fiend in the same lane with Keeper of the Light. It might be good. This is the lane that I'm going to be looking at the most.
Okay, and we're going to look at if Nisha is going to live through this as we head over to Captain SPG.
Starting off with the early picks, they're going to hit a double raise combo and a third to finish the job. Samael claims first blood in a draft that was already seemingly favoring Nigma Galaxy. They start off with Carry having some extra gold.
This is a hero that can 1v5 a game, true, solo carry style, considered like Spectre, Faceless Void, and PL in the right PL game are still in that category. Now, I guess the big question is, will this be a game Spectre can 1v5?
Man, it's just, everyone's just clashing right away. Boxy dies in the top lane while Mickey tries to get aggressive against this Underlord. Doesn't quite work out for him.
With the Spectre scaling and being able to just dice these core heroes up. Because I think this Necrophos is going to get absolutely massive and he can cause them a lot of issues.
Well, they're not getting the upset in lightning phase, that's for sure. We're going to have a support trade-off in the bottom lane, but it's going to be the Spectre who will probably be worse for wear here as Devi gets a little bit of extra damage on him on the way out.
Definitely fits Mickey style. I like it. See if he can get some charges cooking here. But then you really just have to go like Tread's Radiance. Zero needs Radiance.
Desperately needs a refill on the bottle here. Nisha does manage to secure it. Will he live, though? High levels of the Flame Guard will help protect against this magic damage, but even still, the Fairy Fire and the bottle charges are going to be expended. And he pretty much ends up where he was before. Ace tries to get aggressive in the top lane. Maybe he got Nightmared out of position there. This is a combo that's really deadly. Nightmare pull you into a bad position. What a bushwhack in the bottom lane. That's going to be Tofu dead. Liquid is just going to be losing all of these lanes, it seems, as this bottom lane was the one hope for Liquid. And it now has seemingly been won by Nigma Galaxy.
No lane, you can't pull the waves against the Bane. You stack, and then your stacks got stolen. You lost the Wisdom Shrine, and now you're getting Nightmared into
Doctor's dead.
Requiem.
It's going to be Requiem point blank. Quick kill on Tofu. Some damage done onto Boxy as well. Nice cast. Not that there's anything that's going to come of that.
Gree value. That's a real silver lining.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not a ward that's going to provide you a lot of innate value other than blocking that specific play.
Yeah,
but hey, it blocked that specific play, so.
It did. Dying's dead again.
He just can't even enter the lane.
Ceaseless Dirge will bring him right back, but yeah, where do you go if you don't have a lane to play?
14-minute Wisdom Shrine's coming. You know they're likely going to look for it. You just need a cheeky support kill here to activate the combination. They can find Sumail.
This would be massive. Pop out from the trees. Sumail just starts hitting Nisha. Here comes the Spectre. Here's the Haunt. The Tombstone's going to be laid out. Sumail does end up going down, but Mickey jumps into it. And the Requiem combined with the Reaper's Scythe, and now a Fiend's Grip in the back lines holding in the Ember Spirit. Nisha is dead as well. Ace is going to march forward. Hits a big decay on 3 different heroes. Can he finish off Amar? At least he does.
Nice.
Okay. Triple kill for Ace. His other cores suffer, but Ace finally. I mean, 1 or 2 dispels go a long ways in this lineup. And the counter smoke here from Nigma Galaxy with an Invis rune on GH breaks and gets some information. Lorna, oh, look at this pit. This is going to be beautiful with the Bushwhack Requiem coming over the top. It's just a bunch of AoE damage. Liquid are going to have a trouble dealing with this. Ace goes straight to the SF though. See if he can handle this physical damage. Not so much. He's having a hard time dealing with this. In fact, he's just going to die. This is going to be 4 dead. This Liquid nothing they could do about it. I think Mickey saw that fight and was just like, I can't do anything here, boys.
This game is getting a little concerning now for Liquid. Can't lose too many of those types of engagements with this Undying.
Oh, what a nasty bushwhack. Kamar catches Mickey, so he's going to die as well. So effectively, a bit of a drawn-out team wipe there. From the top lane, the Spectre was the only survivor. Now he dies.
Gonna gate top, Shadowblade on Sumail, looking for a nice little Requiem Shadowblade pickoff on the Ember, who does not have BKB yet. Does he linger? He has a sentry down. Should spot this. Yep. Oh, Haunt for the Necrophos mid. He got Solar Bind.
Oh, but a good save there from the pits. But the Solar Bind, it's too much to handle. He tries to Reaper's Scythe, hoping some damage would come in. It does do a little bit, I guess. But Ace, he's in trouble. Again, Sumail is so damn hard to deal with. He does so much physical damage. They do manage to catch him, though. Got him inside the cast with the Maledict. Toss him up in the air, not allowing the Requiem to go off. A bit of damage, and he will die to the Maledict. Will it be enough?
I don't think it's enough.
The final tick? Oh, got him.
The Urn.
The Urn finishes him off in the end. Mickey will receive that big bounty, 628 gold. Still not good for Liquid, though. They get 2 big core kills, but they will lose 4 heroes for it.
Again, a lot of things went their way, and they still can't translate it into some overwhelming victory.
Devi is just being just defensive enough that Liquid is failing to find this opportunity. Instead, it's going to be the straight 5-on-5 perhaps, as the smoke's going to break in the river, and they've already got the pit on Nisha. Nisha trying to make his way up to the high ground here. Pops his BKB, gets another pit, go to high ground tombstone. Tofu almost dying there, and Lornoff will finish him off with a deep dive in with his BKB. He's not afraid of anything. Trying to deal with the tombstone to let the rest of his team on in here. Ace is in some trouble off that silver edge hit from Sumail. The Undying making a run for it with his BKB Flesh Golem. And now with the TP, there's no way out. He's going to be caught and killed as well. 2 dead, pretty easy for Enigma Galaxy, despite the fact that Liquid were set up in a nice high ground area with the tombstone and everything.
Could burst him here. He can just Requiem him out of the Shadow Walk. Might get it here. Got to time it with the
Catch him on the slide, come back and hit him point blank. Requiem, double raise.
He didn't.
Yeah. Well, he still got the hit.
I was going to say he didn't walk into the second raise because he just
he got stuck on the trees. They're just too far behind at this point. Got to reach the next set of items or something.
And this is where SF is good against Spectre. The matchup is very one-sided outside of it.
He's going to try. Tries to catch the Hoodwink here. Spectre goes off. No, that cast is bouncing around. That could be dangerous. Requiem is going to cover him here, trying to keep these heroes back at bay. Nisha, though, with his BKB still chasing after him. Got to deal with the physical damage to the SF, though. Still a menace. Standing in the middle. Throwing out damage everywhere, trying to pick these heroes apart where they can, but as long as they stay near Lornoff, stay near Sumail, there's not much hope for Liquid to win the second part of this fight.
Too much sustain. You already had a pipe on the Underlord, you had some big Lotuses on the supports, and so many Death Pulse heals, plus that Death Seeker. Power of Necrophos against Spectre. If you don't win those Haunt fights, the game accelerates so fast, because you're just a dead hero in the game.
Nisha pulled back in by the Bushwhack. He's going to be burst down here. The Reaper's Scythe is not quite enough, but he couldn't get very far with the Remnant, so still in that AoE, still to die. Tofu with this pipe couldn't bail him out, and Tofu in the fountain can't get bailed out either. What a stomp. Enigma Galaxy.
That's a big Wind Waker. Can save against the Reaper.
Oh, if you're Liquid, how do you make this happen? Slight getting away from the pit at the nick of time.
So Haunt trying to go on the back line.
Trying to go for the Bane, and he tried to go for the feed script. He hit an illusion instead. Still, though, he's alive. The Requiem forced it back to Heroes and managed to kill the Ember Spirit. Witch Doctor runs away from Lornoff. He's going to be okay for now. Close range gate to stop some of these heroes from retreating. BKB has to be used by Ace. And while he has plenty of HP, again and again, we're seeing he just cannot deal with the SF's damage. Little chains there. Okay, you lived, but you didn't do anything to Enigma Galaxy, and Enigma Galaxy is doing something to your base right now. Mega's gonna be inbound here. It's almost a guaranteed. Lornoff just will not die fast. Oh, the shot for the Firestorm combined with the Sharpshooter kills Mickey. Sumail didn't even have to do anything to kill the enemy carry. Wind Waker dodged the Bushwhack. Liquid They're just really proven. They can hardly take this in like a 2 versus 5.
And look at
Lordoff is fighting 5 heroes right now, and the team isn't even bothering to help him. They just wanted to see what would happen.
What, just go up there, bro. We'll back you up. Just kidding. You're on your own. I think if Sumail crits off the silver 3, giant small hit, he one-shots Boxy. Yeah, it's very close.
4, 5. Ace is slowly lowering his strength. Bushwhack pulls it back in. Wind Waker, he's going to come back into the pits and will be sharp shot down.
Boy, that's a lot of damage.
Again, the Wind Waker combined, it can only save so much against these pits, and in this case, sets up the sharpshooter beautifully. Throne is exposed, Enigma Galaxy will take their time. They're going to try and kill the Liquid heroes first, really demoralize them. Nice use of the slight to dodge the scythe. He'll still die when it comes back down. Too many Vegas, too many heroes, too much net worth. Enigma Galaxy, too dominant of a victory here in game 1.
Sumail just farming some extra KDA. He's like, fine, I'll kill you some more.
Yeah.
If you're going to clip it there, take some extra kills with me for the road. And yeah, that was a very one-sided game. I don't know. I feel like that draft was pretty telegraphed, right? If Liquid don't make something happen in the first 10 minutes there, I think those fights just become increasingly harder and harder. Like,
when he tried to play with his Ember, he had to go to an Ember that was starving, and that's all you have really. Then what else is there? There's like a Spectre, but Spectre just wants, you know, quiet and time to come online.
I'm also looking at the potential Aghanim Scepter. Whenever you think about Alchemist, he gives it to the Wolf, and then Wolf bites him back. It's like, yeah, I'm actually buying this for myself. Yeah. It's not going to happen probably. I think in this one, he needs to play for himself. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be seeing Aghanim Scepter.
I do kind of wonder, is Izzar Spirit ever going to try and help Nisha out in this mid matchup? I mean, they're not even set up for the power roots right now. Ace is going to try, but he's being chased out by GH and Sumail. They finally put a stop to all this backlaning that he's been doing. The Reaper Scythe, not enough to get the kill on Nisha, but maybe the follow-up is he jumps the orb, the power shot lands, not enough damage. Meanwhile, roll in from the Earth Spirit, pushing back the heroes with the cogs, but didn't actually get anybody inside. They're all free to run away, despite being on low health.
For example, I had no options with my casting partner.
I knew it was good. I mean,
somebody had to.
I was sitting there going, am I going to say it? Is he going to say it?
No, I'll say it. I have no qualms. 8-minute power rune. Perhaps Nisha will have an option of getting it, and he will. Look at that. Shield
rune gets popped. Tofu is going to join in on this. Lornoff is just going to get outnumbered.
Where was the help? The help was the IO who went top. Relative to how much he dominated the 1v1. This is letting Puck come back in the game right now. Some better support movements from Liquid in this game too. As
accidentally got the Lycan inside of the cogs. Not what he wanted. Right next to Mickey. Mickey will die as a result of that. And Tofu is likely to fall as well here. Enigma Galaxy is just surrounding him. And Devi gets to shut down the Drow Ranger after all the annoying frost arrows thrown his way. It's got to be cathartic.
Super fast move speed there.
That's true.
That's a great little target. Great micro from Devi. Very nice kill up here.
Now that shapeshift is on cooldown, Drow Ranger's going to come right back to lane with the puck. The coil lands onto Devi, trying to body block long enough that either Tofu or the Drow Ranger could join in. Drow doesn't actually chase. It's just going to be up to Tofu. Hits the cogs. They get the kill.
Nice return. They get a courier bottom as well. Axe is going the vessel.
Then the concept then, okay, we can't let this Alchemist farm any stacks. We need a hero that can do that.
It always is a factor. That's why Sand King used to be great back in the day.
Sure, yeah.
I think the majority of it was they want a hero that could free up the Earth
Sentries. Nisha did not expect that one. Thought the Invis rune was a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's not the case.
Beautiful setup from Omar there. He can get reload out of this game, though. Yeah. That is the concern. You need to check the IO while you're killing the Alk.
And they definitely know it's coming. I mean, the Lycan came through the gate to join this side of things. They did manage to hit the hook shot initially, going after that IO. Did they stop it? They did manage to. With the coil going out, the Alchemist does manage to get a two-man unstable concoction.
Killing him.
Another beautiful shackle shot from Omar. You've got one stun, and Omar is making it work.
The boy's a beast. I give it to him every time if he's going to land those. That was an absolute beauty. That's one of those game-changing shackles, because that's a big commitment of a move for Liquid. Lornoff still opting for it, so little loss value, for Enigma Galaxy, but honestly, not much. I think it's totally fine.
Liquid can get little pickoffs like this. Another shackle shot that lands.
That's a lot of damage.
This is actually going to turn into something. Nisha's almost dead off of that one. Jumped away. Unstable concoction. Samael sandwiches him on the other side. Nisha is having a rough series, and Liquid is having an even worse game 2, perhaps, than game 1. 7K up. Well, Liquid is definitely not going to be running over Enigma Galaxy. So at this rate, this kind of lead that Enigma Galaxy has, you're back to, okay, Drow Ranger, can you carry this game? Beautiful silence, though. That is quite the initiation. Not the fastest kill in this IO. Now they're going to turn back to Divide, and they'll get both of them. So Mickey actually making the first successful move for Liquid in a while.
That is a very solid turn of events up here. That was a Helm of the Overlord Lycan looking to... Well, it's always good against the IO, though, right?
That's true.
I guess you can get a faster Greaves now on supports. So maybe GH will just rush the Greaves here.
Yeah, it is a cheaper item. Oh, he got a stable concussion Reaper second. What happened to the Nisha Puck, the legendary Nisha Puck? He's getting killed by Alchemist out here. Another shackle shot lands. Earth Spirit not going to be able to roll out. This Wind Ranger is a menace.
He's everywhere. Doing everything with these wolves too. Now they're going to reload in. You land another shackle.
Yep, Ace
he's
body
just dead
blocks
anyway.
by the wolves, and now he's guaranteed dead.
Beautiful gameplay. Just beautiful gameplay. I mean, you're saying legendary Nisha Puck. This is a legendary Sumail Alchemist.
I guess so.
Legend against legend. You can't count him out here. Because you have so much sustain, you can just tank up. Take a tier 2. Start hitting the tier 3. Dare Liquid to fight you. They are going to fight at this tier 2. Great coil.
A beautiful coil on 2, and the Alchemist is going to die quickly here.
They
now
have
the
a
second
call.
life, he's going to have BKB. Let's see if they can stop the Blink Dagger at least. Oh, what a shackle again! Samael gets off the BKB, pushed back a little bit by the Cogs. The multi-shot trying to slow in down here, roll in. Boxy does manage to hit the Magnetized, unstable concoction, landing on a 2, and nothing really stops Samael. Once he activates his BKB AC, they lack the damage to handle him. They can't kill anybody. It's going to be 4 dead on the side of Liquid. An easy team fight win for Enigma Galaxy.
And Divide effectively just solo killed.
And he slow in down again. Samael, he's going to have BKB. Let's see if they can stop the Blink Dagger at least. Oh, what a shackle again! Samael gets off the BKB, pushed back a little bit by the Cogs. The multi-shot trying to slow in down here, roll in. Boxy does manage to hit the Magnet. He pushed back a little bit by the Cogs. The multi-shot trying to slow in down here, roll in. Boxy does manage to hit the Magnet. Push. Let's see if they can stop the Blink Dagger at least. Oh, what a shackle again! Samael gets off the BKB, pushed back a little bit by the Cogs. The multi-shot trying to slow in down here, roll in. Boxy does manage to hit the Magnetized, unstable concoction, landing on a 2, and nothing really stops Samael. Once he activates his BKB AC, they lack the damage to handle him. They can't kill anybody. It's going to be 4 dead on the side of Liquid. An easy team fight win for Enigma Galaxy.
And Divide effectively just solo killed the Puck. Itemization choice. Just tanking up. Not that high of DPS for him, but he has a lot of armor to work with against this Drow.
It's an insane amount of armor. He's got plus 36 armor.
Oh, I guess he doesn't lack for damage. That was very convincing.
I mean, frankly, the rest of Liquid are so underfarmed at this point. Boxy's rolling out. They do manage to hit the silence on Omar. Catch him at the coil. Heavy commitment to get that 1 kill. Mickey's outside of the base. Lordov gets behind him, and he's just dead. He can turn around, multi-shot slow these heroes, but once you're outside of that base, Enigma Galaxy, they only have one hero they need to stop, and that is the Drow Ranger.
Oh, Nisha.
Got the Orchid on him, Nisha.
He's just ruining his day.
Dead again. The gem is going to be dropped.
Dude, he went Diffusal, I think, just to be able to pop the Lincolns.
Nasty.
Just so he can absolutely murder this. I mean, it's brutal. Brutal out here for Nisha. They do have a barracks top, so this is not technically for Megas, but if you lose this lane, the Lycan will take the remaining.
Here comes the wolf fight.
Oh,
Shiva,
boy, he is
unstable
bad.
concoction. Everybody scatters on the side of Liquid. They do manage to get the initiation here. Pull in Samael. Samael says, okay, well, I'm in this deep. Might as well keep going. Goes after the Drow Ranger, forces her back to the fountain, gets him inside the Cogs, wasting much of the BKB here. Liquid plays this pretty well. Now the BKB is going to expire soon. Can they actually kill the Alchemist with no Wolf Bite, no BKB?
He's got all the hypo stacks.
They've got him stacked up, but he's got so much armor, they can't kill him alongside the sustain that is being offered from both the Necropos, and the Puck almost dead again. This time does survive. Another call. I mean, they just keep on pulling in hero after hero. Will they ever have enough damage to kill somebody? Boxy rolling in, bit too deep. He's going to be Reaper's Sight. That brings Lornoff back up to full. That is going to be another lane of barracks, almost Megas.
That is
Divine,
Megas.
Committed. Gets the Megas, maybe gets Tofu as well. Unstable Concoction, it lands half HP for Samael, committing for the kill. Nice Shackle shot to follow that up as well, catching Nisha and Mickey. Mickey, he'll die for the cost of an Aegis on an Alchemist. They just simply cannot do anything there. They're going to buy back, kill the Alchemist again. Congratulations, you got him. All it cost you was everything.
The streak goes to Ace. Probably not the hero you wanted getting that extra 1,400 gold here.
Probably not. Well, here it comes. Combination of Mega Creeps and Sustain. The initiation on Lornoff. He's going to be healed up a bit, but they do manage to break that tether, and Lornoff needs some help, and he will get it. Had the BKB, got off the Ghost Shroud, full heals. Still, though, Liquid don't lose anything for this. Puck not dead yet.
Oh, big trouble, though.
Is he going to be able to blink away? He will. He'll get farther away, but he won't get far enough away. These heroes are just too fast. They have too much mobility. They'll come in with the Shivas, eventually get him. So they did lose something for that.
Just nowhere to run. Too much disable from the itemization here. They're going to send the creeps in, start pelting onto Mickey. Look for a jump.
Try to go for that jump. Geomagnetic Grip pulls him out. Self-stun for the Alchemist. They just can't get the kills fast enough, though. Tofu's going to be overwhelmed. Reaper's Sight managed to get the roll in, and quick silence on many of these heroes, but the damage is there. Call goes out. Sure, got Omar. They might be able to kill that Wind Ranger one more time before the end of the game. Throne is exposed. Divine Llama blinks forward. Another Geomagnetic Grip to be able to save the Axe. Trying to kick back these heroes. Kick back the Wolf instead. Not the Wolf he intended to. A nice relocate save. Ace, another call, trying to pull them into the fountain, but the throne will explode first. Enigma Galaxy topping out Group B right now with another 2-0.
They're looking in peak form, and they are peaking at the right.
Three months ago, I built two completely different ant civilizations, separated by a deadly river. On one side was a jungle ant colony filled with moist soil, carnivorous plants, and plenty of natural resources. On the other side was a desert colony, a harsh landscape of dry sand, spiny plants, and seeds that were difficult to find. And between them, a dangerous river crawling with predators. But in the middle of that river is an island full of yummy seeds. The only problem, it is almost impossible to reach. Over the next 100 This protein-rich reward was a test hidden deep beneath the dirt. Would the ants uncover this treasure, or would it decay and be lost forever? With the foundation in place, it was time to bring the jungle to life. I planted an ant plant at the center of the jungle. Ants are naturally drawn to this plant. Inside its swollen base are hollow chambers, almost like tiny rooms built just for them. In nature, ants live inside these spaces, using plants as a fortress. And in return, they protect it from enemies and provide with valuable nutrients. Right next to it, I planted a butterwort. It looked harmless then, but would soon become one of the fiercest hunters in this world. The leaves of this plant are coated in a glistening, sweet-smelling sticky substance. The moment an insect takes a sip, it will get hopelessly trapped, slowly dissolving alive as the plant feeds on its body. Over on the other side of the river, the environment is much harsher. I filled the desert zone with various spiny plants. These spike sentinels offer almost zero moisture or food, meaning any ant will have to navigate a harsh desert full of razor-sharp needles just to search for a single seed. So now the two worlds are ready. It's now time to introduce the rulers of these worlds. Meet the Ant Queen. She mated years ago and stored sperm inside her body. That single event was enough to fertilize eggs and produce an entire colony on her own. I released her with her first generation of workers into her forest. She quickly moved toward the soil and started exploring. A few moments later, she wandered toward the deadly butterwort, getting dangerously close. One wrong step and she could be instantly trapped, ending the experiment before it even begins. Luckily, at the last moment, she turned and moved in another direction. Eventually, she pushed her way into the soil, disappearing beneath the jungle floor. Next, I released the second queen into the sandy desert alongside her own fierce workforce. Within seconds, the ants got to work. They dug a hole and the queen moved underground to raise her new colony. Then came the first storm. Rain fell on this tiny world. The river filled with water as it flowed through the tank, separating the two colonies forever. On the jungle side, new green shoots began to rise. By day 15, the ants had built an intricate nest. Chambers had been carved. And remember those dead insects I placed at the bottom as food? After days of relentless digging, a group of workers finally broke into the buried treasure. The ants swarmed it. Mandibles latched on, legs pulled apart, and pieces began disappearing into the tunnels. On the jungle side, there was not even a sign of the silkworm. It's safe to say the colony had quietly uncovered and consumed the entire reward long before I noticed. These ants have a highly developed sense of smell. They use their antennae to detect chemical cues and subtle smell pheromones, even through layers of soil. On day 17, I added a reward to the desert side, a mini lotus pod filled with seeds ants love. But there was a problem. The seeds were trapped inside a tough shell, and if the ants wanted them, they had to break in. I dropped it into the desert arena, and almost instantly, the ants swarmed it. One ant even pushed its hole back inside, trying to rip a seed loose. But for now, nothing worked. In the meantime, to make the river feel like a complete ecosystem, I needed something living inside it. Something that could turn the water from a simple barrier into a hunting ground. Meet the dragonfly nymph. These aquatic predators hunt anything tiny that gets too close. As soon as I added them, they went straight to the bottom where they could hide and wait. One day, this tiny underwater predator will climb out of the water and transform into a real dragonfly. But for now, it's a silent aquatic hunter. One of the dragonfly nymphs slowly crept toward the edge of the water, knowing this is exactly where ants wander. And sure enough, an ant appeared the same stretch of shoreline.
それは突然現れた。舞台は大都会、東京渋谷。人口24万人のど真ん中に巨大なガチャガチャを用意した。黒の宝箱。
In an instant, the nymph launched forward, snapping its extendable jaw onto the ant and dragging it straight into the water. It's time for him to enjoy his meal. On day 30, I pushed the experiment to a whole new level. I created something neither colony had seen before, an island. And this wasn't just any island. It was loaded with the yummiest seeds. But there was one huge problem. To get there, the ants would have to cross this deadly river. And even if they somehow survive the crossing, they're not done. The base of the island is coated with a slippery chemical. Once they reach the island, they'll have to climb its surface, which is almost impossible to grip. And even if they manage to get to the top, they still have one final challenge. They have to carry the seeds all the way back to the colony. Will the ants risk everything for this massive reward? Or is it simply too dangerous to even try? Let's find out. It didn't take long before one ant made a bold move. It wandered too close to the edge, slipped, and fell straight into the river. Immediately, the current grabbed it. Instead of drowning, it was carried downstream, all the way to the island. By pure chance, the ant reached the base and immediately began climbing toward the seeds. Oh no, it's too slippery. This surface was far more dangerous than it looked. As it climbed, it kept losing its grip and sliding all the way back down. But then, it found a narrow path where its feet could finally hold. This time, it didn't slip. The ant slowly climbed up the seed pod, and finally, it made it to the top right in front of the seeds. But wait, he's not even picking up a single seed. You see, ants don't just find food, they map it. They leave behind a pheromone trail so other ants can follow the exact same path back and forth. So even after everything it just survived, this ant knew it doesn't have a terrain to carry the seeds back. Back on the desert, I needed something living inside it. Something that could turn the water from a simple barrier into a hunting ground. Meet the dragonfly nymph. These aquatic predators hunt anything tiny that gets too close. As soon as I added them, they went straight to the bottom where they could hide and wait. One day, this tiny underwater predator will climb out of the water and transform into a real dragonfly. But for now, it's a silent aquatic hunter. One of the dragonfly nymphs slowly crept toward the edge of the water, knowing this is exactly where ants wander. And sure enough, an ant appeared the same stretch of shoreline. In an instant, the nymph launched forward, snapping its extendable jaw onto the ant and dragging it straight into the water. It's time for him to enjoy his meal. On day 30, I pushed the experiment to a whole new level. I created something neither colony had seen before, an island. And this wasn't just any island. It was loaded with the yummiest seeds. But there was one huge problem. To get there, the ants would have to cross this deadly river. And even if they somehow survive the crossing, they're not done. The base of the island is coated with a slippery chemical. Once they reach the manage to all the or it take long to reach the base and immediately oh no, it's too slippery. This sliding all the way back. But then it found a narrow path where its feet could finally hold. This time, it didn't slip. The ant slowly climbed up the seed pod, and finally, it made it to the top right in front of the seeds. But wait, he's not even picking up a single seed. You see, other ants can survive side, and he began places they normally can't. A dragonfly nymph, the nymph shot, waiting for the right moment to strike. In a sudden burst, the nymph shot forward and grabbed 3 ants, dragging them underwater. Or that's what I thought. The ants clamped onto the nymph, biting relentlessly. Even underwater, they didn't let go. And somehow, the hunter had become the hunted. These ants don't mess around. Luckily, the nymph managed to break free and disappear back into the river. With the nymph retreating, the ants rebuilt their bridge. With the bridge in place, the first ants crossed. They reached the island, climbed up, and this time they didn't hesitate. They grabbed the seeds. One by one, they carried the seeds back from the island into their nest. The desert colony now had a massive stockpile of seeds, enough to last for weeks, while the jungle ants were still scraping by day to day. For the first time, the desert colony was winning. But over on the jungle side, something very different was unfolding. A fruit fly was attracted by the butterwort and wandered into it. You see, this plant doesn't trap its prey instantly. Instead, as the fly moves and struggles, the plant responds by releasing more of its sticky coating, slowly grabbing hold of its legs and wings. The more the fly fought, the more it got stuck, until finally, it couldn't move at all. A few moments later, the jungle ants picked up the scent of the protein. They rushed in, pulled the trapped fruit fly free, and carried it away like a stolen prize. Turns out, the plant's sticky trap wasn't strong enough to stop the ants. On day 40, I woke up and noticed something strange. Giant black ants were wandering across the terrarium floor. Somehow, they had broken in. They were huge, fast, and they could even climb the glass. In the world of ants, a visitor is never a guest. It's an enemy, and my colony wasn't willing to surrender its home. The ants immediately rushed forward to drive away the intruders. Mandibles locked as both sides pushed, pulled, and fought for control.
If the
Warning pheromones spread through the colony and more workers rushed in to defend their home. Eventually, one by one, the black ants began slowing down. My ants were winning, and pretty soon they had won. To prevent any more damage to the colony, I carefully removed any new black ants before the fighting could continue. Soon after, my ants began carrying away the fallen invaders, turning the aftermath of the battle into a fresh source of protein for the colony. After seeing the black ants up close, I realized their mandibles were seriously powerful. These ants were once used like natural stitches. Their jaws clamped onto the wound, and the body was removed, leaving the head to act like a staple. On day 50, I added an armored darkling beetle. These beetles have a strange defense mechanism. When threatened, they stop, lower their head to the ground, and lift their abdomen straight into the air. Then they release a foul-smelling chemical that acts as a powerful irritant. And the ants seem to understand the warning. But this blue death-feigning beetle had two superpowers of its own. First, when threatened, they could play dead. They'll freeze for hours until predators lose interest. And second, they were built like tiny tanks, with armor so tough that even lizards and birds struggle to break through it. On day 60, both colonies were stronger than ever. The only thing still separating them was the river, so it was time to set up the bridge. For the first time, the two worlds were connected. At first, nothing happened, until a few hours later, two brave ants stepped onto the bridge. And then they finally met for the first time. They touched antennae almost like they were exchanging information. They continued along the path into each other's territory. For the first time, they stepped onto each other's land, not as enemies, but as one colony. The ants had chosen peace. Within minutes, ants from both sides were crossing freely. By the end of the day, the two worlds were no longer separate. They had become one massive super colony. Meanwhile, the dragonfly nymph was waiting for its next meal. And remember that seed pod? The ants finally solved it. After days of chewing through its tough shell, they broke in, pulled the seeds free, and carried them back to the colony. By day 70, one of the nymphs had completed its transformation and emerged as a dragonfly. But she wasn't ready to fly yet. Her wings still needed time to harden before I move her to a bigger world.
Mulai dengan solusi Google Cloud lalu akses langsung ke kredit gratis untuk
Topiknya adalah Kristen pengikut Yesus bermartabat bisa topik budaya. Oh, loh omnya ikut ke sini maksudnya mau jadi saksi atau gimana?
Nggak tahu.
Lo kok nggak tahu?
Omnya muslim kan?
Hah? Omnya muslim atau Kristen?
Enggak, om saya Kristen.
Kristen?
Oh. Dari seorang aja yang.
Loh kok bisa omnya ikut ke sini?
Dia nganter.
Dia yang nganter. Lah kenapa nggak mau datang sini masuk? Kamu sekalian? Omnya gimana? Mau diajak sini atau enggak?
Enggak, dibilang mau tunggu di bawah.
Mau di bawah aja? Ya udah nggak apa-apa, men. Ditunggu ya. Ini mau ditayangin nggak? Mau ya?
Apa?
Ditayang di YouTube tak apa? buat siar agama. Satu buat siar agama, kedua buat cari donasi dari penonton supaya kita bisa bayar operasional kita dan juga bisa kirim guru ke hari. Kayak ke Alex. Guru itu nanti datang seminggu 2 kali. Ya, untuk ajari Alex mulai dari 0 sampai bisa baca Quran. Sudah pernah baca Quran?
Belum.
Kita akan kirim guru free, no charge. Ya, 1 minggu 2 kali. 1 kali datang 1,5 jam. Sampai Alex bisa baca Quran. Sudah sunat belum?
Belum.
Nanti harus sunat. Kita yang bayar. Ya. Tapi gurunya nanti datang 32 sesi. 32 sesi, kalau Alex fokus dan serius, insya Allah bisa baca Quran, walaupun terbata-bata. Nah, itu kan kita butuh dana. Ya. Makanya kalau boleh tayang di YouTube. Ya. Sama-sama kita bantu. Nanti Alex ada apa misalnya kesulitan apa, kita bantu. Oke? Udah, Ben?
Iya, lagi ditekan-tekan buatnya.
Minum. Alex ngopi nggak?
Ngopi.
Mau kopi pakai gula nggak?
Iya.
Pakai gula? Nah, berarti 2, Man. 1 nggak pakai gula.
Ini disimpan aja.
Wah, sebenarnya fotonya mukanya muka muslim ya? Kamu muka muslim dong.
Tinggalnya di mana?
Pinang Muara.
Udah netap di sini berarti di Indonesia.
Sebelumnya di Malaysia berapa lama?
18 tahun.
Jadi umur
6 bulan.
6 bulan dibawa Malaysia. Kamu bisa pulang sini baru 1,5 tahun. Terus kamu sekarang kerja atau apa?
Enggak, cuma dulu di kos.
Duduk di kos. Oh, kamu orang tua asli mana?
Kalau ibu saya orang Indonesia. Kalau
ayah Malaysia. Oh, pantas. Oke. Ya sudah, kita mulai ya. Udah toh. Baik, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Senang sekali pada malam hari ini kita jumpa kembali di channel Donditan. Dan di sebelah kanan saya sekarang ada anak muda. Saya nggak tahu nih orang Indonesia atau orang Malaysia. Namanya, saya pinjam KTP ya. Namanya Hari Alexander Marcelo Short. Oke, namanya panjang sekali ya. Agama di KTP ini Kristen. Lahirnya Bekasi. Terus kok bisa lama di Malaysia tadi katanya?
ya dulu saya sekolah di Malaysia.
Oh, sekolahnya di Malaysia. Di kota apa?
Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, di KL. Berarti
KL.
di KL dari usia berapa?
Usia 6 bulan.
6 bulan dibawa ke Malaysia. Ibu asli?
Ibu asli Indonesia.
Indonesia. Bapak?
Bapak asli Malaysia.
Oh, bapak asli Malaysia. Ketemu di mana tuh bapak sama ibu?
Di Malaysia.
Oh, di Malaysia. Oh, berarti nikahnya di Malaysia. Oke, terus melahirkannya di Indonesia. Oh, berarti kamu di Indonesia numpang lahir aja. Iya kan? Numpang lahir terus langsung dibawa sana lagi. Oh, begitu. Panggilannya Alex ya?
Ya.
Baik. Alex sudah menghubungi admin kami dan menyatakan keinginannya untuk memeluk agama Islam. Betul ya?
Betul.
Ibu dulunya Islam atau Kristen?
Kristen.
Dari dulunya Kristen. Ketemu bapak di sana, bapak juga aslinya Kristen. Menikah di Malaysia, di gereja berarti. Oke. Alex berapa saudara?
4.
Nomor berapa?
1.
Oh, berarti punya adik?
3 cewek.
Tiga-tiganya perempuan semua? Di Malaysia?
Di Malaysia.
Oh, nah sekarang datang ke Indonesia, ini maksudnya dalam rangka apa? Kerja atau?
Lagi jaga nenek.
Oh, nenek. Neneknya di Indonesia. Oke. Baik, karena apa namanya sudah menginformasikan bahwa Alex mau memeluk agama Islam, jadi kita sudah siapkan sertifikatnya. Sertifikat ini sengaja langsung kita siapkan dan serahkan kepada Alex. Tujuannya adalah supaya Alex nanti bisa segera ganti kolom agama di KTP ini. Ya, tinggal datang ke kelurahan, cari petugas Dukcapil, serahkan KTP, serahkan sertifikat, ganti agama. Oke, itu aja. Tidak sampai 1 jam jadi. Dan tidak ada yang harus dibayar. Ya. Baik, nah Ini sebelum kita mulai, saya penasaran sekali ini. Ceritanya bagaimana? Singkat saja, kenapa Alex mau masuk Islam?
Udah minat dari kecil.
Dari kecil? Kok bisa?
Iya,
Di Malaysia?
Di Malaysia.
Jadi di Malaysia apa? Melihat orang Islam di sana?
Kalau di Malaysia tuh kawan-kawan saya semua orang-orang Melayu itu.
Oke.
Nah, jadi kalau solat ni semua saya suka nengok.
Oke. Tapi Alex dari kecil tidak dibawa ke gereja sama orang tuanya?
Pernah bawa ke gereja, tapi lama-lama tuh udah nggak minat mau ke gereja.
Lama-lama nggak minat. Oke. Papa, mama sekarang di Malaysia juga masih ke gereja? Masih? Jadi kamu nggak mau ke gereja terus nggak dimarahi sama papa mama? Enggak. Oke. Jadi teman di sana banyak orang Islam. Melihat orang Islam sholat, kamu suka tengok. Oh, kamu suka.
Terus kalau ada program mau ke masjid atau apa, saya ikut.
Ikut ke masjid? Buat apa? Ikut sholat?
Enggak. Kalau ada program majelis.
Oh, ini kajian. Oh, kamu dengar. Oh,
suka dengar.
Suka. Pernah datang kajiannya Ustadz Abdul Somad di Malaysia?
Enggak pernah.
Belum ya? Oke. Ustadz Abdul Somad kan sering ke Malaysia. Oke. Jadi ini kamu menjemput hidayah karena kamu melihat orang-orang Islam di Malaysia yang taat sholat ya. Kamu juga sering mendengarkan kajian-kajian ustadz-ustadz di masjid di Malaysia. Oke. Tapi waktu kamu mau masuk masjid di sana wudhu dulu nggak? Wudhu tak?
Wudhu.
Oh, wudhu. Oh, berarti sudah belajar wudhu ya? Sudah tahu bacaannya wudhu? Bacaannya sudah tahu? Oke. Baik, kalau begitu. Karena saya ngeliat mukanya muka-muka Islam ini sebenarnya ini ya. Kamu kalau ketemu sama orang bilang Kristen agak-agak gimana gitu. Tapi benar, KTP-nya Kristen nih, benar. Kalau boleh tahu dulu gerejanya apa?
Kalau dulu gereja nggak ingat.
Nggak ingat? Jadi kapan terakhir ke gereja?
Umur 10 tahun.
Oh, 10 tahun. Dari umur 10 tahun sampai 20 tahun tidak ke gereja, tidak dimarahi orang tua?
Enggak.
Oh, enggak. Oke. Baik, kalau gitu tolong diperiksa nama dan nomor nick ya. Ini nick ya?
Iya.
Tolong diperiksa ini dan ini sama persis tak? Kok gue jadi kayak ngomong orang Malaysia? Mentang-mentang. Tolong diperiksa, soalnya tidak boleh ada salah satu angka, satu pun nggak boleh salah.
The house is a mess, Kevia.
I'll clean tonight.
You said that yesterday.
I know.
My son deserves a proper home.
Kavya, the client report, where is it?
I'll send it by 9.
I needed it yesterday.
I'll send it by 9.
The dal is burning.
Ya benar.
Oke, sudah betul?
Benar.
Oke. Sekarang seperti biasa, ya seperti biasa. Ini adalah saya wajib bertanya kepada Alex. Alex menyatakan ingin memeluk agama Islam. Apakah Alex ini mau memeluk agama Islam atas kemauan sendiri atau ada paksaan dari orang lain?
Ya memang kemauan.
Alhamdulillah.
Memang udah kecil.
Dari kecil ya? Waduh.
Lama nunggu.
Ya, kenapa nunggunya baru sekarang?
Iya,
di
kalau
depan.
dulu itu jadi gimana ya? Dia jadi
sama istrinya kan?
Mau masuk
sama
atau enggak, mau masuk atau enggak.
Kenapa?
Enggak tahu, cuma
ya. Anaknya mana? Ini anaknya susah kan? Masya Allah.
Senang. Cuma mudah cuma diri.
Ya. Oh.
Jadi keliru. Takutnya nggak bisa mau bawa.
Oh, takutnya tidak bisa menjalankan. Oh, oke. Kan banyak teman orang Islam kan. Tinggal ikut teman aja. Atau mungkin tinggalnya di Kuala Lumpur bagian mana?
Selangor.
Selangor. Selangor kan juga banyak masjid ya. Oke, tak apa. Kita hanya perlu mengucapkan alhamdulillah Alex masih diberi kesempatan menjadi orang beriman. Ya kan? Nunggunya dari berapa? Ini umur berapa juga? Umur 10 tahun. Masya Allah. Ini yang paling besar. Kira yang paling besar. Kenapa nggak dari 10 tahun? Masya Allah. Usia berapa yang paling besar? Tak apa. Orang tua yang kedua, orang tua tahu tak? Yang ini Alex mau masuk Islam. Yang kecil mereka
Bapak saya udah bilang
nambah-nambahin.
nanti kalau umur 18 ke atas terpulang.
Masya Allah.
Ikut jalan kembali.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Tapi Alex ada rencana mau kembali ke Malaysia kan?
Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Bahagia sekali kita pada pagi hari ini pada subuh. Di hadapan saya sekarang ada satu keluarga nih ya. Masya Allah.
Orang-orang Islam.
Bapak namanya siapa? Pak Yohanes. Ibu namanya?
Saya sudah bisa
Rian. Bawa KTP dua-duanya? Bawa. Boleh pinjam?
Ketiga.
Boleh ya?
Sudah
di mana? Sini.
Pernah tahu
aslinya
ada
ya,
Islam?
aslinya.
Tahu ya? Pertama bersyahadat, sholat, zakat, puasa, naik haji kalau mampu. Apakah Alex berjanji untuk berusaha sebaik-baiknya menjalankan syariat ini?
Ya.
Alhamdulillah, itu saja. Pernah mendengar rukun iman dalam Islam? Kalau sering ke masjid berarti tahu ya. Rukun iman sudah paham ya. Beriman kepada Allah SWT, kepada malaikat-malaikatnya, kepada kitab-kitabnya, kepada nabi-nabinya, kepada hari akhir dan kepada qada dan qadar. Alhamdulillah.
Baik, berarti sudah, di hadapan saya sekarang ada Bapak Yohanes Andita,
di Malaysia.
Betul ya? Ada Ibu Rian Mayasari, betul?
Let's start with the drums.
Karena sudah menginformasikan ke Yayasan Garda Mualaf Indonesia bahwa Pak Yohanes dan Ibu Rian ini menyatakan keinginannya untuk memeluk agama Islam, maka kami sudah siapkan sertifikatnya, ya. Tapi sebelum kita mulai, biasa ada pemeriksaan sebentar ya. Ini untuk mencegah kesalahan.
Okay, I like this track. I'm gonna copy it to the main.
Minta tolong.
Alright, now we're adding some bass.
Pak Yohanes tolong cek di sertifikat ini nama dan nomor nicknya harus sama. Ya, kalau ada beda satu huruf atau satu angka, nanti bisa bermasalah di dukcapil. Jadi supaya kita pastikan supaya keduanya betul, tolong dicek nama dan nomor induk kependudukan.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna copy the synth to the main track.
Sudah betul?
Let's add a shaker.
Sudah ya? Baik. Nah, saya minta
I'm going to click on
Pak Abdul
percussion,
Aziz,
and
MC dari
here
mana?
I'm just typing in shaker.
Minta tolong,
and
Pak.
clicking cover.
Kalau saya ngecek
add
nanti
the main
ada yang
track. Now
curiga.
let's put it all
Ini
together
orang
and I'm
lain yang
gonna
ngecek.
sing.
Betul nggak Pak agama di situ tertera Kristen?
Ya, betul.
Betul.
Ya, betul, Pak.
Betul ya Pak Ibu ya. Nah, ini hanya konfirmasi aja ya. Baik. Seperti biasa juga, ketika ada orang mau memeluk Islam, saya harus bertanya. Ya. Pertanyaan pertama adalah Pak Yohanes dulu. Ya. Pak Yohanes menyatakan keinginannya untuk memeluk agama Islam itu atas kemauan sendiri atau ada paksaan dari orang lain?
Saya atas dengan hati nurani saya ingin memeluk agama Islam tanpa paksaan apapun dari manapun itu.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah ya. Ibu Rian, tolong. Ibu Rian mau memeluk agama Islam itu atas kemauan sendiri atau mau ikut-ikutan suami atau ada yang maksa?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Atas kemauan saya sendiri kok.
Kemauan sendiri, alhamdulillah. Yang kedua, ini langsung untuk keduanya ya. Pak Yohanes atau Ibu Rian, orang tua masing-masing sudah tahu Pak Yohanes sama Ibu Rian mau memeluk agama Islam. Orang tuanya sudah tahu. Pak Yohanes sudah tahu. Kira-kira responnya bagaimana?
Yang paling banyak terjual di TikTok.
Kalau saya sih awalnya ditolak.
Ditolak.
Jawabannya
pasti ditolak.
Terus
video yang dibuat adalah produk pasta gigi probiotik ini.
Jadi
dengan total unit
saya
yang
itu
terjual sebanyak
ingin memeluk agama Islam dengan benar,
dan
dengan
apa
ya dengan
video
tulus hati
dengan
saya
views
aja.
terbanyak di TikTok di Indonesia
Akhirnya diizinkan.
Walaupun setengah hati.
Oke, walaupun cemberut. Begini, tujuan saya bertanya tentang hal ini kepada Pak Yohanes dan Ibu Rian bukan berarti berarti Pak Yohanes dan Ibu Rian itu mau memeluk agama Islam butuh izin orang tua, bukan? Ya, seseorang ketika mau menjadi orang beriman yang dia butuhkan hanya izin daripada Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Ya. Kenapa saya bertanya tentang orang tua? Karena saya ingin memberikan masukan, pesan, himbauan setelah hari ini Pak Yohanes dan Ibu Rian dan anak-anak semua ini, kalau sebelumnya sudah sayang, sudah hormat kepada orang tua masing-masing, mulai hari ini harus lebih sayang, harus lebih perhatian, harus lebih hormat kepada orang tua.
Siap-siap aja nih untuk
Ya,
FYP berkali-kali
janji ya.
dan tentunya bisa
Alhamdulillah.
menambah cuan
Yang ketiga,
lebih banyak lagi. Nah, untuk
sudah
itu,
tahu
mari kita mulai
rukun
saja
Islam?
tutorialnya. Pertama,
Pernah dengar
buka
rukun Islam?
browser dan ketikkan
Pernah?
saja Fastmos.
Saya nggak
Atau
tahu.
bisa langsung
Nggak
klik
tahu.
link yang
Iya.
sudah
Nggak
saya
tahu kok mau
sediakan
masuk
di
Islam?
deskripsi video ini.
Belajar ya,
Ya, belajar.
nanti belajar
Ke halaman
pelan ya.
pertama
Rukun
Fastmos.
Islam itu yang pertama
Di sini,
bersyahadat,
silakan login
ya.
ataupun sign
Yang
up
kedua
terlebih dahulu
sholat,
menggunakan email
yang ketiga
yang aktif
zakat,
atau menggunakan
yang keempat
akun
apa?
TikTok. Setelah berhasil
Puasa,
masuk,
ya.
ini adalah
Yang kelima
tampilan dashboard
apa?
utama dari
Naik
Fastmos,
haji
tampak
jika
profesional
mampu,
dan
ya.
langsung menyajikan
Jadi
data real time
jangan
dari
terbalik-balik
TikTok.
nih,
Kalau
ya.
teman-teman
Syahadatnya
ingin
di
menggunakan
depan,
bahasa
sholat,
Indonesia,
zakat,
bisa
puasa, naik
langsung
haji
klik
kalau
menu
mampu.
di pojok
Rukun
kanan
iman
atas,
dalam Islam
lalu
sudah
pilih
pernah dengar, Pak
bahasa
Yohanes,
Indonesia.
Ibu Rian?
Uniknya,
Rukun
saat
iman
mengganti bahasa,
belum.
wilayah analitik pun
Pertama-tama
akan
beriman
menyesuaikan
kepada
secara
Allah Subhanahu wa
otomatis
taala.
ke Indonesia.
Kemudian beriman
Jadi,
kepada
data-data yang
malaikat-malaikatnya.
ditampilkan lebih relevan
Ketiga,
dengan
beriman
pasar lokal.
kepada
Di bagian atas halaman
kitab-kitabnya,
terdapat kolom
ya.
pencarian
Tapi
yang
bukan
bisa
Bible
digunakan
yang
untuk
dipegang
mencari produk,
kemarin-kemarin ya.
brand, toko,
Yang keempat,
bahkan
beriman
kreator
kepada
TikTok,
nabi-nabinya.
dan lain sebagainya.
Yang kelima,
Contohnya,
beriman
di
kepada
sini saya ketik
hari
mobil
akhir.
diecast. Langsung
Yang
muncul
terakhir,
datanya,
beriman kepada
mulai
qada
dari
dan qadar,
produk-produk
ya.
terkait di
Takdir.
TikTok, toko yang
Takdir ada yang
menjualnya,
mutlak,
jumlah
ada yang
penjualan dalam 7
diusahakan.
hari terakhir,
Pak
hingga
Yohanes ini orang
total
suku apa?
omset dari masing-masing toko tersebut.
Tionghoa.
Teman-teman juga
Suku
bisa
Cina.
melihat live
Iya.
streaming,
Jangan pelan-pelan,
video ads,
bilang aja
dan
Cina.
iklan
Nggak apa-apa,
yang
saya juga
sedang
Cina.
berjalan untuk
Bisa
produk
nggak
tersebut.
milih
Ini sangat
sebelum lahir
membantu
milih jadi
untuk
orang
tahu
Cina?
seberapa viral dan
Nggak bisa.
potensialnya
Ibu
produk
Rian
tersebut di
asli
TikTok.
orang suku apa?
Jika teman-teman tidak ingin membaca
Ciben.
angka-angka secara
Oh,
detail,
oh, ini
jangan
keluarga
khawatir.
Ciben
Di
berarti
bagian
ini,
kanan,
Masya Allah.
Fastmos juga
Ya.
menyediakan
Bisa nggak milih jadi
ringkasan
orang Cina?
hasil analisis
Mau sebelum
otomatis.
lahir?
Jadi
Nggak
cukup
bisa.
dibaca secara
Artinya
cepat
apa?
untuk
Itu
langsung
sudah
memahami
ditakdirkan
insight dari produk
pencipta
atau
kita.
toko tersebut. Fastmos
Kita
menyediakan banyak
ditakdirkan
sekali menu yang
hidup
bisa
di dunia
teman-teman
ini
akses di
menjadi
panel
orang
bagian
Cina.
kiri.
Ya udah,
Saran
tinggal
saya,
kita mau
kalau
beriman atau
teman-teman
tidak.
ingin riset
Kita tidak lebih baik
terstruktur,
daripada
gunakan
orang Arab,
panel
orang
ini
Indonesia.
agar datanya
Mereka
lebih
juga
spesifik
tidak lebih baik
dan
daripada kita.
tersegmentasi.
Yang paling
Saran
baik di
saya,
antara kita
kalau
adalah yang
teman-teman ingin riset dengan
bertakwa.
lebih terstruktur,
Ya.
gunakan
Tahu
panel
artinya
ini
bertakwa, tahu?
agar datanya lebih spesifik dan
Hanya
tersegmentasi.
menjalankan
Di
perintahnya,
halaman utama juga
menjauhi
disediakan
larangannya.
dashboard
Itu
yang
bertakwa.
cukup lengkap
Kalau
seperti
kita
live
lebih bertakwa
streaming
dari orang
bulan
lain,
saat ini,
kita
produk
lebih baik di mata Allah
terpopuler hari ini,
SWT. Ya.
daftar toko dengan
Baik,
penjualan
alhamdulillah.
tertinggi, dan lain sebagainya.
Saya rasa
Contohnya, produk pasta
sudah
gigi
cukup ya.
dari merek Mito ini
Tidak ada yang
mencatat
menghalangi Pak Yohanes dan Ibu Rian untuk
14.807
bersyahadat.
penjualan dalam satu hari.
Kalau untuk
Dan
adik-adik
Clean
nanti
Glower ini
ikutin aja,
mencapai lebih
ya
10.000
ikutin aja.
penjualan.
Adik-adik
Bahkan
tidak perlu
ada toko
sertifikat
dengan
seperti
omset
papa mama, ya nggak apa-apa.
27,42
Tapi nanti
miliar. Gokil.
orang tuanya
Semua data
yang
ini
harus
ditampilkan
membimbing
real
dan
time
membina
dan bisa
anak-anaknya juga
dijadikan
untuk
dasar
mengikuti
menentukan
apa yang
niche produk
dilakukan
yang
oleh orang
cuan.
tuanya
Untuk
dalam
mencari
hal
produk yang sesuai
beribadah.
dengan target
Ya.
pasar teman-teman, klik
Baik.
menu produk search.
Kalau sudah
Di sini
siap,
teman-teman bisa melihat kategori produk secara
ini
lengkap,
daripada lama
ranking
mungkin kita
berdasarkan
langsung syahadat
penjualan,
aja ya.
dan
Karena
data
tadi sudah
tujuan
saya
terakhir
tanya ya.
yang masih sangat fresh.
Baik.
Kita akan contohkan
Kita
dengan mengklik salah
satu-satu.
satu produk, misalnya pasta gigi Mito.
Kita berjabat tangan,
Maka akan
Pak
tampil
Yohanes.
nama produk, indeks
Pak
popularitas,
Yohanes
jumlah
sudah
unit
pernah
terjual,
dengar 2 kalimat syahadat?
GMV-nya, jumlah kreator yang mempromosikan,
Udah,
total
sudah.
video yang
Iya.
dibuat,
Sudah tahu artinya?
dan masih banyak lagi.
Sudah ya?
Jika
Sudah.
ingin melihat toko yang
Tolong
menjualnya,
ikuti
klik saja
2
nama
kalimat
toko,
syahadat
maka
yang akan saya
semua
ucapkan
datanya
dalam bahasa
akan
Arab.
terbuka
Nanti kita
lengkap
lanjutkan
banget.
dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Setiap produk juga
Ya.
dilengkapi dengan analisis video
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
ads-nya. Contohnya
Asyhadu
video iklan pasta
asyhadu
gigi tadi
an
dalam
la
28
ilaha
hari terakhir
an la
berhasil
ilaha
menjual
Allah
33.490 unit.
Bukan
Omsetnya
Allah,
mencapai
Allah
889
Allah
juta
ilaha.
dan ditonton lebih
Bukan
dari
Allah,
47 juta kali.
Allah.
Bahkan
Nggak pakai
disediakan
H
juga
ya.
tanggal
Allah.
publikasi
Allah.
videonya.
Ilaha.
Teman-teman bisa
Ilaha.
klik videonya
Kita ulang ya.
langsung. Dan ini yang menarik, ada
Asyhadu.
fitur ekstraksi
Asyhadu
script yang bisa
Allah,
langsung menyalin
Allah,
teks dari video.
ilaha,
Script ini bisa teman-teman jadikan
illallah,
referensi untuk
illallah,
membuat video dengan
wa
alur narasi
asyhadu,
dan gaya
wa
bahasa yang
asyhadu
terbukti berhasil.
anna
Bahkan dilengkapi dengan analisis
Muhammadan,
kamera, 3 detik
Muhammadan,
emas atau ataupun momen menarik dari
Rasulullah.
video, analisis pemasaran,
Aku
serta
bersaksi,
insight daya
aku
tarik
bersaksi,
naratif. Sekarang kita akan
tiada
coba untuk
sesembahan
baca
yang
sentimen
layak
pembeli.
disembah
Scroll saja ke
tiada
bawah, teman-teman
yang
akan
layak
menemukan
disembah
fitur
selain
AI
Allah.
Comment
Selain
Analysis.
Allah.
Fitur ini
Dan
berguna untuk
aku
mengetahui
bersaksi,
apakah produk
dan
tersebut
aku
mendapatkan banyak
bersaksi,
pujian
Nabi
atau
Muhammad,
justru keluhan.
Nabi
Komentar
Muhammad
terbanyak dari
adalah
pembeli, serta
adalah
sentimen analisis
utusan
yang
Allah.
dikategorikan
Utusan Allah.
otomatis. Dan
Alhamdulillah.
untuk
Sah ya,
ringkasan
Pak,
dari
ya?
bagian komentar ini, karena
Alhamdulillah.
berbahasa Inggris,
Allahu
teman-teman
Akbar.
tinggal copy
Tolong
saja
mic-nya
dan
diberikan ke
translate
Ibu
ke
Rian.
bahasa Indonesia dengan
Ibu
menggunakan
Rian,
Google
sekarang
Translate
tolong
contohnya.
tangan
Dan
kanannya
kalau teman-teman ingin
telunjuknya
menganalisa
diangkat ke atas
komentarnya
begini, ya.
satu-satu,
Ini
tinggal
adalah
baca
lambang
saja.
tauhid.
Fastmost juga
Tauhid
punya
artinya
fitur
mengesahkan
creator
Allah
research.
Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Misalnya,
Ya,
saya mencari
ikuti
kreator
dua
populer
kalimat syahadat
seperti
yang akan saya
Fanny
ucapkan dalam bahasa
Francisca
Arab.
yang memiliki
Nanti kita
7,17
lanjutkan dalam bahasa
juta
Indonesia,
followers
ya.
dengan penambahan
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
4,9 juta dalam sebulan
Asyhadu
dan rata-rata viewsnya
Asyhadu
itu 468.000 per
ilaha
video.
Ilaha
Teman-teman bisa klik dan
illallah.
pelajari semua datanya.
Illallah.
Bahkan
Wa
bisa filter
asyhadu
berdasarkan
Wa
follower terbanyak,
asyhadu
anna
performa harian,
Anna
serta kategori
Muhammadan
spesifik. Misalnya
Muhammadan
elektronik, fashion, dan
Rasulullah.
lain sebagainya.
Rasulullah.
Dan semua
Aku
data
bersaksi,
ini bisa
Aku
diekspor dalam
bersaksi,
bentuk file.
tiada
Cocok
yang
untuk
layak
teman-teman
disembah,
yang ingin disusun
tiada
dalam
yang layak
presentasi
disembah
ataupun
selain
laporan.
Allah.
selain
Terakhir,
Allah.
tools
Dan
favorit saya,
aku
yaitu
bersaksi,
adalah
Dan
AI
aku
video
bersaksi,
script tool.
Nabi
Di sini
Muhammad
teman-teman bisa
Nabi
mengambil
Muhammad
skrip dari
adalah
video viral,
adalah
melihat
utusan
alur narasi
Allah.
dari
Utusan
konten yang
Allah.
menarik, dan belajar
Alhamdulillah.
cara
Sah ya,
storytelling
Pak,
yang
Ibu?
bikin orang betah nonton.
Allahu
Contohnya
Akbar.
video yang ini,
Allahu Akbar.
dan klik ekstraksi
Allahu
skrip.
Akbar.
Skripnya bisa teman-teman
Alhamdulillah.
salin, terjemahkan. Salah satu contohnya adalah
Pak Abdul agak
video
pinjem
wanita
bolpen,
berhijab
boleh,
di
Pak? Ada,
motor
Pak?
ini. Tanpa
Mohon
skrip
maaf.
pun, Fastmost bisa menganalisis gaya,
KTP-nya saya
narasi
kembalikan.
visual, dan daya tariknya secara detail. So, tools ini cocok banget untuk affiliate marketer, content creator, online seller, atau siapa saja yang ingin menjadikan
Alhamdulillah.
TikTok
Pak Yohanes
sebagai
usia berapa
ladang
sekarang?
penghasilan. Dan
39.
tentunya bagi
Burian?
kreator, Fastmost ini akan membantu menjadikan produk viral, melihat produk paling
Pak
laris.
Yohanes tolong tanda tangan di atas materai, terus kemudian tulis namanya. Berarti kamu sudah tahu dan juga arti dan makna dua kalimat syahadat ya. Sekarang kita hanya meresmikan saja berarti ya. Alhamdulillah. Baik kalau begitu, tolong Alex baca mulai dari sini. Mau bahasa Arab juga boleh.
Enggak ngerti.
Oh, nah ini artinya ini.
Ya ini saya tahu kalau ini tahu.
Belum pernah mau baca Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang ini tolong
Oh,
juga
ini
ditandatangan dalam
Bismillah.
materai. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Oh, oke.
Ya, dengan menyebut nama. Silakan. Tulis
Nanti
nama
dibacanya
dari sini ke sini. Langsung ini sesungguhnya agama yang diriwayatkan di sisi Allah adalah Islam. Quran surat Al Imran ayat 19 plus dengan nomor HP saya, sebelahnya. Nama sebutkan namanya langsung ke sini aja. Ya, yang tempat tanggal lahir ini tak usah dibaca. Dari nama langsung agama sebelumnya Kristen. Terus ini dengan kesadaran dan Ibu Rian sama keikhlasan sendiri dan seterusnya sampai mengucapkan dua kalimat syahadat. Oke. Kalau sudah siap silakan baca depan saya. Baca dengan suara ya, jangan baca dalam hati ya. Silakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Ya, ini juga di atas materai
dengan
nama dan nomor
Allah
HP.
yang Maha Pengasih lagi Maha Penyayang. Sesungguhnya agama yang diridhoi di sisi Allah ialah Islam. Quran surah
Ali
Imran ayat 19. Dengan ini saya nama Harry Alexander Marcelo Short. Agama sebelumnya Kristian. Dengan kesadaran dan keikhlasan sendiri tanpa ada paksaan dari siapapun. Di hadapan pembimbing dan para saksi saya telah melepaskan agama yang semula dianut dan selanjutnya memeluk agama Islam dengan mengucapkan dua kalimat syahadat.
Ini kan belum ada fotonya ya. Masing-masing tadi belum ada fotonya ya. Nanti pulang tolong ditempel foto sendiri ya. Kenapa kami yayasan kami langsung memberikan sertifikat ini kepada mualaf karena sertifikat ini adalah dokumen yang diperlukan mereka untuk ganti kolom agama di KTP. Tanpa ini mereka tidak bisa proses. Ya, jadi tolong dipergunakan sebagaimana mestinya. Ya, ini tidak bisa digadekan. Ya.
Muhammad
Rasulullah. Aku bersaksi. Tiada yang layak disembah. Selain Allah. Dan aku. Nah, ini saya wakili satu aja ya. Nabi Muhammad adalah kami juga memberikan paket. Mohon maaf Pak Yohanes sudah sunat? Belum. Baik, harus segera jadwalkan sunat.
resmi sudah.
Sekalian sama anaknya nih, ya.
Duduk dulu.
Nanti
Semoga Alex istiqomah
kita
ya.
akan kirimkan
Semoga
dokter
Alex
ke rumah,
Alhamdulillah.
sunat di rumah, nggak
Allah.
usah kemana-mana, ya.
Gimana rasanya?
Zaman sekarang sudah canggih,
Lega
sunat
atau
sudah cepat sekarang dan nggak sakit ya.
Alhamdulillah. Sekarang
Baik, ini
Alex, tolong tanda tangan
saya
di
berikan
atas
satu
kertas,
aja yang
tulis
buat
nama
Pak
di
Yohanes ya
bawahnya.
sebagai simbol ya. Kami memberikan ini ada sarung, ya sarung ini pasti cocok buat habis sunat, sama buat sholat ya nanti ya. Yang kedua kita berikan di sini ada buku petunjuk sholat harusnya. Ada buku petunjuk sholat, ada buku juz amma ini, ya buku petunjuk sholat, ada buku juz amma, ada juga buku ikro. Buku ikro ini nanti adalah sebagai jembatan buat Pak Yohanes dan Bu Rian untuk bisa baca Quran dalam bahasa Arab, ya. Ada yang ngajarin nggak? Tenang,
di rumah,
nanti saya kirim guru
sertifikat
privat.
ini
Ya.
Alex boleh
Buat Pak Yohanes guru privat laki-laki, buat Bu Rian guru privat perempuan. Nanti guru privat laki-lakinya bisa nggak